behind, in the middle of the stage, he dismantles the mic and in a very aggressive fashion, while Himanta Biswa Sarma could also be spotted on the stage. He was there, of course, for a Shobha Yatra since last evening. But what do you make of the visuals that are coming to light now?
It is brazenly instigative politics being adopted by KCR and his team of TRS leaders. It is totally unwarranted and it is completely unacceptable. It comes onto the stage set by the Hindu groups for the Vinayak Nimajjan Utsav in Hyderabad, and the CM of Assam is here as a chief guest. And this man who comes uninvited onto the stage actually removes the mic from there and twists it off. This is completely unwarranted, quite instigative. Bharatiya Janata Party condemns this kind of a rowdy politics which is being adopted by TRS, and God knows what they're trying to do, because this is the intersection of the old city and the new city, and you know how tense the scenario can get with these kind of antiques.
Okay, let me go across to Mr. Krishank from the TRS joining us as well. Mr. Krishank, now this man who you can see on your screens trying to dismantle that mic in a very aggressive fashion, he had to be dragged back off the stage. You can see those visuals coming in. We are being told he's a local TRS Neta. What's going on here? What was on the agenda and the purpose?
One thing, we still haven't identified that particular person, but nevertheless, see, if you've come here for the festive celebrations, well and good. But if you're talking politics, you're trying to give provocative statements, definitely sentiments would be hurt. Himanta Biswa Sarma ji, who comes to Telangana and is talking about politics on
Mr.
a day
Krishank,
when
are you justifying this act? Because this man could have done any sort of damage. I mean, the way in which he went for the mic and had to be dragged back because he was using force to stay put there is completely bizarre. It's shocking. It could have gone out of hand as well.
See, we are not at all supporting it, but if that person is pulling off the mic, that means he is not liking the statements of Himanta Biswa Sarma ji. He's coming here on the celebration day when Telangana is celebrating the Ganesh festival, when we are celebrating the Ganesh Nimajjan, using that as a platform.
And for that matter, many TRS politicians, netas, affiliates may not like what Himanta Biswa Sarma had to say, but that doesn't justify this act.
That is what I'm saying you. We are not supporting it. But people of Telangana wouldn't want to hear politics, not just TRS. It could be anyone random. Any Telangana person also. If Bharatiya Janata Party wants to use the Ganesh festive celebrations also for their petty politics, taking mic and talking their politics, giving statements against TRS and TRS leaders, no one would entertain it.
What kind of comments are you referring to, Mr. Krishank, to put this in perspective and justify what you're trying to hint at? What comments are you talking about? Because we're being told that he was addressing the public there because he was taking part in this Shobha Yatra for the Ganesh immersion event today.
See, we do not know if that particular person whom you are showing is a TRS leader. I haven't seen your visuals
But you're referring to certain comments, right? So what are those comments really?
See, one thing, we are celebrating, we are in celebrations. We are not doing politics of, TRS and BJP here while celebrating. So we do not know what Times Now is also playing or what BJP is speaking about. What we are trying to tell you is, we do not want any kind of BJP platform. Why today Himanta Biswa Sarma has chosen this particular day to do politics? Why that is becoming a big national news? We understand.
I don't think, there is a rule that states that a politician from a particular party is not allowed to go ahead with any sort of a public address in any other party. For example, the TRS cannot go to Assam and address the public there. I mean, that really doesn't make sense to me. But let me go across to Mr. Rao, who continues to stay on with us and perhaps can answer you. Mr. Rao, what would you want to say to Mr. Krishank?
See, Krishank is defending the indefensible clearly, because he should know that it is Nanda Kishore Vyas who is a TRS leader, local leader of that area, and it is not that he is unrecognized. He is a local leader. So he is a TRS leader, and he has no business to be on that particular stage trying to disrupt what the leaders there are speaking. This is the VHP-led stage and VHP-led procession. And he has no business to be there and twist the mic and dismantle it. and he's disrupting Ganesh Utsav and Ganesh Utsav, and how dare he does that? And this is completely, it doesn't last a second, because is there any...
But the fact also remains, Mr. Rao, that Mr. Krishank is saying that that's the BJP going ahead with its own set of strategy to spread its political agenda in Telangana, and that's something that's not welcome by the TRS.
Do we care what they welcome or not welcome? Tomorrow, if KCR is going to speak against BJP, do you want one of our leaders to go and dismantle the mic? Is this the precedence they want to set? Is this what the definition of democracy and free speech in Telangana by TRS leaders? So this is instigative politics. I think the agenda for TRS is to create some kind of a religious issue here, because the place, the time, and the event is not...
A TRS politician cannot be stopped from making their way to Assam and address a public rally there. So that's the argument that the BJP is putting out at the moment. Thank you both of you for joining us and sharing your perspective. Let's see what the investigations reveal, because this certainly was a situation that went out of hand, and Himanta Biswa Sarma could be seen on the stage. Let's move more political reactions to the kind of drama that unfolded on the stage, where you can see Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Assam Chief Minister, stand there while addressing the public. Now a man tries to confront the Chief Minister by dismantling the mic on the stage. Now this happened at a rally in Hyderabad. Himanta Biswa Sarma has been in Hyderabad since last evening. He was there for this very event called the Shobhyatra rally for the Ganesh immersion event, and that's exactly what happened. That's what transpired thereafter, viewers. You see this man, who reports suggest is a TRS, local TRS neta, who comes from somewhere in the back and tries to dismantle that mic in a very, very aggressive fashion. He's thereafter held by some of the supporters of the BJP and the VHP, and he's dragged back off the stage. So those are the visuals, though. Himanta Biswa Sarma can be seen maintaining calm and composure, really smiling his way through as this incident unfolds on the stage, right in the middle of the stage. But it's extremely shocking what we are witnessing. Man climbs on the stage and in a very, very aggressive manner tries to dismantle the mic. Now, we've been trying to take reactions from both the TRS and also from the BJP to get a bigger sense of what really transpired and what is it that they politically feel about this very episode. Let me go back to Soumit for the moment, who's joining us with more details. Soumit, the TRS couple of minutes ago maintained that there's yet to clarify whether or not this is in fact a TMC, local TMC neta. But what are sources telling you? What really transpired? Who is this man and what happened exactly?
Actually, we were seeing the face of between the TRS and the BJP leaders. This is not the first time, several places we have saw TRS leaders try to, halt the, convoy, or else even we have saw, recently a big gun from the BJP has arrived in the Telangana, and, she was actually, a convoy was stopped by the local leaders, and this is actually a trend from the political leaders where they try to actually, stop their convoy, and however, Himanta Biswa Sarma was attending several programs in the Hyderabad city organized by the Bhagyanagar Ganesh Utsav Samithi, and after attending a program in the Charminar and addressing
all
media,
right, let me go across to Mr. Bachchu Srinivas of the TRS joining us on the phone line. Sir, what do you make of this? How is this being allowed to happen? Is your party going to take any sort of an official reaction, any reaction whatsoever? Because this is extremely shocking. This man walks from behind and tries to dismantle the mic in a very aggressive and an uncalled for manner.
Yeah, I came to know that it is Mr. Biswa Sarma is going to talk about something about Nizams. So he is interrupted, right? This is exactly happened on the dais. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Actually, this is an emotional thing. If somebody is speaking, who is coming all from BJP to Hyderabad and speaking about Nizam, and they are talking about the Nizam's issue, and when they are talking about against to TRS party, definitely people will get emotion who are in supporters of Telangana Rashtra Samithi. That is a small disturbance is happened which should not happen under
Sir, the small disturbance could have been a big disturbance and could have turned into something bigger. So there is a need for the TRS to condemn it at this stage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It should not happen. Emotional things Sometimes it will happen. So while speaking BJP party people, they should also take care of such things.
All right, let me go across to Mr. Subhash. Stay on with us, sir. Mr. Srinivas, stay on with us. Let's take in a BJP response. Mr. Subhash, what would you say? You just heard Mr. Srinivas say that this man perhaps was carried away by emotions and that the BJP must also be careful of what it's up to in the state.
The CM Assam, Mr. Sharma ji, has been telling, bringing to the light of the public that how, the statehood has been achieved because of so many issues, because of the Nizam's autocratic rule, and then, many people have been, killed during the, the freedom fight. When we got independence in the 1947, 15th August, why it took almost 14 months for, the Congress party or the party, the leaders then to integrate, to bring, Hyderabad into the part and parcel of, the Indian subcontinent. What is the necessity for that? See, Mr. Sharma ji, the CM Assam has been just bringing to the light that what are the issues which have happened, and people are now very, very happy. So where is the emotion attached to it? See, the Bharatiya Janata Party is now, the growing. The TRS party doesn't have the Congress, because the Congress and the TRS are one and the same, because both are hand in glove. People get elected from Congress and then eventually join in the TRS. They see the potential threat only for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And this is the free country. This is not a Nizam rule or something, the British rule. This is a free country. It is, everyone has has their own prerogative to talk. And then it was, an emotional attachment, definitely, because during the the Ganesh Mahotsav, where the Bharatiya Janata Party wanted the VHP or the people who are celebrating the Hindu festival, the TRS putting so many crops on that.
Okay, so the TRS is rattled. They have a problem with the BJP's growing footprint in Telangana is what you're trying to indicate. Let me go across to Mr. Srinivas once again. Mr. Srinivas, what would you want to say? This man, we're being told, has been identified as Nand Kumar Vyas. Now, what action will the party take is what I'm meaning to ask you time and again, because whatever be the reason, whatever be the topic which Himanta Biswa Sarma chose to address to the larger public gathered there, this kind of a behavior is uncalled for and the man cannot take law into his own hands.
Nobody is here to take the law into their own hands, whether he is Nandakumar, whoever may be. I believe, I know him, Mr. Nandakumar from Begum Bazar, Ushamahal constituency. He represents the Begum Bazar. That's what I'm saying. Some uneven and unusual emotional things whenever the BJP is wantedly trying to make the people emotion. So these kind of things may happen. So I repeat,
there can't be two ways about this. Either you have to condemn what he did, what we just saw on our screens, what's playing out, or you go ahead and justify it. You can't condemn it and say that he was carried away by emotions is perhaps what led to this.
No one can say that such things should happen. We are not saying that this has to be happen. The very most unfortunate, it should not happen, I say. I repeatedly telling that it should not happen, but it is happened only because of the emotions of Hyderabad. People should not do. I request BJP leaders should not do such kind of preaches in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is a very peaceful city. They never, even recently, they have given a lot of statements on the safety and security of immersion of Lord Ganapati. And again, they are going to, on September 17th also, they are making a lot of comments. And recently, their corporators, what sort of things that their corporators did in Hyderabad, you might have even they are not yet taken any kind of action. He kidnapped a person in Hyderabad, BJP's own corporator. They have not yet taken any kind of action.
So I'm just asking you to take a position. Just asking you to take a position, but let me go across to Mr. Subhash and perhaps he can come in and ask you what he wants to. We'll take this conversation forward. For the moment, I'm afraid we're running out of time, so we'll have to slip into a very short break.